For this lesson, we will be talking about conversion factors and unit cancellation, in which we will be trying to convert between two different units, maybe from feet to inches or meters to centimeters. It could also be extended to convert between English units and metric units, as long as we know the proper conversion. To start with problem, we'll take an easy one. We'll start with feet and inches. My problem down at the bottom is that I want to convert 3 feet to inches. And notice I have two possible conversion factors. Both of them involve the same conversion, which is that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. Notice that I can have two different fractions that I can make out of them, and I can either use 1 foot over 12 inches or 12 inches over 1 foot. We are allowed to multiply by this because 1 foot and 12 inches are equal, which means that both of those fractions are equal to 1, and as long as I'm multiplying something by 1, I will keep the thing the same. In this example, I will be taking the feet and I will be canceling out the feet in the numerator, the 3 feet, and that will be canceled out with the 1 foot in the denominator, and that will leave you 3 times 12 inches, which will be 36 inches. Okay, so the 3 feet, again, notice in the first fraction, and I have 12 inches over 1 foot. The next step, I will take the 2 feet and cancel out the feet, and that will leave me just inches, and then I will multiply the 3 times the 12 and get 36, and the units that will be there is inches. There is nothing left in the denominator of either of the two factors, so there will be no denominator in your answer. If I change the problem up and I go into the metric system, I can now try centimeters to meters. I'm starting with 1.32 meters. Again, the equality that I will use is that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. And again, you do need to know the conversions. You can use the one with the decimal, but it will be easier if you stick to a conversion that has whole numbers in the two parts if you can. So my two possible conversion factors, I can either use 1 meter over 100 centimeters, or I can use 100 centimeters over a meter. So if I'm starting with x is 1.32 meters, I would like to get the meters to cancel out, which means my conversion factor is going to be the one that has the meters in the denominator. So I'm going to take the 100 centimeters over 1 meter, cancel out the meters, and again, to get my answer, I will then multiply the two numerators together. So I will multiply 1.32 times the 100 and get 132 centimeters for the answer. I can extend this and go the opposite ways. If I start with 8.72 or 8.72 centimeter and change it to a meter, again, I'm going to use the same conversion factor, the same two possible fractions. This time I'm starting with the centimeters. So this time I would like the centimeters to drop out, which means in this case, I'm going to use the conversion factor where the centimeters come out into the denominator. This time the 2 centimeters will cancel out. And again, I'll be left with meters. The difference in this one is that I will have to divide the numbers that are left because I have 8.72 in the numerator and 100 in the denominator. So you have to divide them, making the final answer 0.0872 meters. I can do this in the English unit of systems too, our system in the United States, where we have feet and inches instead of meters and centimeters. So again, I would have to look for a conversion factor. The equality for this is that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. Again, I have two different factors that I can start with, either the feet in the numerator and the inches in the denominator, or I can go to the inches and the feet in the numerator and denominator. So again, since I'm starting with inches, I would like the inches to cancel out. So again, I will pick the one that has the inches in the denominator, which is the first one. And so the 1 foot over 12 inches will go in. The inches will cancel out. Again, I will be left with only feet, but this time again, as in the last one, you're going to have to divide the two answers. So I will have to divide 39.37 by 12, and again, this will give me a certain number of feet, and when I divide that, I get 3.28 feet. Now you can go into any other unit, so you can take kilometers and decimeters. We could go between English units and metric. If I know how many centimeters are in an inch, I can convert that way, or kilometers in a mile. So all of these different ones are applicable with the same system as long as you know your conversion unit. So here's an example between kilometers and decimeters. The conversion for that is 1 meter is equal to 10 decimeters. So again, the decimeters will cancel out. And that will again be a division problem. So my meters will be left by dividing the 15,000 by 10. And my final answer will not be there yet, because once I convert that, I will only be at meters. I still have to get all the way back to kilometers, so you know that I have to do one more conversion. So the next conversion is that I have to take kilometers and compare them to meters. And again, our conversion there is that 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. So we were trying to go from decimeters all the way over to kilometers. So we couldn't do that directly. We had to do 2 conversions. First of all, decimeters to meters. Once I got to meters, then I can do meters to kilometers. Okay, and so when I do the next cancellation, now I will have kilometers left. And again, what I will do next is multiply the numbers across. So my numerator will be 15,000, but my denominators also have to be multiplied. So 10 times 1,000 is going to be 10,000. So you will be dividing 15,000 by 10,000, and the final answer will be 1.5 kilometers. This will convert to any other conversion. So again, I can go to seconds and days conversion. So if I want to know how many seconds are in a day, I can start again with the things that I'm working with, which is the days. Find a conversion for days. Now again, maybe some of you may know how many seconds are in a day, but most of you would probably start with 1 day is 24 hours. That will give me a conversion that will take out the day unit, but I still have to go to seconds. So now I'm going to have to find another conversion for hours. And again, everyone probably knows that 60 minutes is an hour. So if I use that conversion, I can cancel the hours out. And finally, I can go from the minutes to the seconds. And if I go from the minutes to the seconds, we know that there are 60 seconds in a minute. And in this case, the minutes will cancel out. So I'm left with quite a few numbers. Again, I have to multiply all the numbers across the tops, which are the numerators, and across the bottoms, they're just ones. So this answer will be just the product of the 4 numbers in the numerators, the 4.38 times the 24 times the 60 times the other 60. So my final answer for this is going to be quite large, 378,432 seconds. Again, this type of conversion can be done with any 2 units, as long as you can find a conversion factor, or 2 or 3 sometimes, as this one had, where you may have to convert in multiple steps. Thank you.